One of my favorite albums as a young pianist growing up was George Winston's December. I was mesmerized by the gorgeous chords, soaring melodies, and simplistic beauty in his playing. Well, in today's quick tip, I'm going to show you the 6 steps to sound like George Winston so you can get that meditative and relaxing and hopeful quality in your own playing. Are you ready to learn how? Then let's dive in. The first step to play like George Winston is the use of range. In particular, the upper range of the piano. You hear a lot of new age music using this upper register of the piano, which gives it that very meditative and relaxing feel. Let's explore the chord progression of George Winston's song Thanksgiving and see how this technique is utilized. So using the chord progression from George Winston's song Thanksgiving, I created a melodic motif that would go something like this. So all I'm doing is taking the triad and going 5, 3, 1. And then I go to the next chord and do the same thing. A minor, 5, 3, 1. D major, 5, 3, 1. G major, 5, 3, 1. C major, 5, 3, 1. But then on the B7, I go 7, 5, 3. And then the chord progression just repeats. Step number 2 to sound like George Winston is to take that melodic motif and harmonize it in thirds and then in fourths. So let me demonstrate how this technique would be used over that chord progression of the song Thanksgiving. So all I'm doing is starting with thirds, and then I harmonize in thirds, and then I go down to a fourth. I do the same thing over A minor. Thirds, fourth. D major, same thing, thirds and a fourth. G major, same thing, thirds and then a fourth. C major, thirds and then a fourth. And then finally on the B7, I just do all thirds. 3, 3, 3. If you're enjoying today's quick tip, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more great content just like this. Step number 3 to sound like George Winston is the use of space. In our left hand in particular, rather than playing a full chord, we're simply going to play open fifths, and that gives us that nice meditative space that we're looking for. So if I were to take that use of fifths and play it over this chord progression, it would sound like this. Almost sounds like a bell or a gong. Almost like a drone. It's a very cool sound. Step number 4 to play like George Winston is to create a repetitive left-hand pattern. And what we're going to do, we're going to create this pattern that starts in the root, it goes to the 5th, the 2nd, and then the 3rd. It sounds like almost like if you were picking a guitar, like this. Gorgeous sound. Let me demonstrate how this technique works over this chord progression, starting with E minor, add 2, then to A minor, add 2, then to D, add 2, down to G, add 2, up to C, add 2, and then down to B, add 2. Just a gorgeous sound. If you'd like to get the downloadable sheet music from today's quick tip, please click on the link below. Step number 5 to sound like George Winston is to create melodic improvisation over the chord changes. Because the chord changes often repeat over and over again, it gives the improviser time to really stretch out and play. Now we use diatonic scales because they're more soothing, and we also use those melodic motifs. Let me demonstrate. So for this improv, I'm only using 2 scales, a G major scale and an E harmonic minor scale. Let me demonstrate how I use those over this chord progression. I'm using this pattern, all G major, and then we go E harmonic minor here. Back to G major. To an E harmonic minor. And then it repeats. For a deeper dive into New Age music, please check out my quick tip entitled 6 Steps to Play Relaxing Piano at pianowithjohnny.com. I also wrote a book of original piano pieces called Soundscapes with a foreword by George Winston himself. If you're interested, please click on the link below. Step number 6 to sound like George Winston is to put together all these techniques into an arrangement and play the song. All right, so here's the arrangement with all the techniques we used for today's quick tip. We're going to start with open fifths, A minor, D major, G major, C major, then to B major, and now we're going to add a simple melody on the top. Here we go. Now we're going to harmonize the melody in thirds and fourths. Now we're going to add a simple sequential melody, left-hand pattern. Adding another one. Let's go back to the beginning. Adding thirds and fourths. Now we're going to take that second ending and end the piece. Beautiful. Thanks again for attending today's quick tip on 6 steps to sound like George Winston. I hope you really enjoyed yourself. I had a great time working with you today. I encourage you to use these techniques in your own playing so you can get that really soothing and relaxing quality. Take care. See you next time.
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the lesson, please let me know in the comments. Also, be sure to check out pianowithjohnny.com. We have over 1,000 step-by-step lessons for all playing levels where you'll learn your favorite songs, styles, and how to improvise at the piano. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.